Because Satan is not interested in any marriage.
Yeah.
Satan is not like driving. He's already having problem. You need a mechanic. You don't need to deceive yourself. You need a mechanic to save that car and to save yourself. So
how do we settle it? Do we just sweep it under the rug silently and just move on?
If I won't tell you lies, there are some brothers that are like that. They just felt they are the head of the family, and because they are the head, their voice alone must be heard in that family. So the wife doesn't really have any opinion. So once they give an instruction, it must be followed.
The best way to get the heart of man, out of your husband, is to honor him. And let's be romantic. I like your union.
The wife is someone that is slim. By the time you get married, and that is the stature you like most. And now she's already getting spread. Maybe the blessing of God is coming, and she's taking territory.
Good evening, viewers at home. We want to appreciate all our subscribers. We want to say a big thank you to you. And all our followers on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Thank you too. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for sharing our videos.
Thank you so much.
We so much appreciate it. And this July edition, we are bringing to you another powerful topic.
Why Christian marriages fail. You discover that when you're a Christian and you follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, marriage should be something to be enjoyed. It should be something that the two people in the marriage, they won't have any issue. But you discover that many Christian marriages, at one time or the other, always face a kind of rock, that leads to separation. So we want to discuss some factors that actually lead to that.
Yes, why Christian marriages fails in silence. So, couples have been praying before, suddenly they just stop praying together.
Exactly.
Then I start living as a co-tenant, not
roommates.
Yes, roommate. No longer as lovers. No longer, there's no emotional connection again. There's no intimacy again. Why did this happen? And this edition will be digging into this, and we speaking on this topic, why Christian marriage. So the first thing we'll be discussing is over-spiritualizing everything.
That's what you see most of the time in many of our churches. We tend to spiritualize everything.
Yeah, without communication.
Even before marrying, people tend to spiritualize everything. Every little challenge in their business, they try to look at it from maybe it's one witch or somebody from, not even looking at the things you are not doing right. You understand me now? So when you do this in marriage, there's, of course, there could be issues because Satan is not interested in any marriage.
Yeah.
Satan is not interested in any home, because the unit of every society is the home, is the family. But all the same, when you over-spiritualize everything,
without communication,
you are not. It's going to actually eat a rock.
So another thing I want to discuss about this over-spiritualizing everything is something happened. Instead of us to sit down and communicate and discuss, you start quoting scriptures. You start quoting scriptures maybe to correct the other person.
Or even to start binding the devil.
Yes, or maybe to even start correcting the other person that this thing scripture say, wife, honor your husband.
Yes.
But we have not really deep down on what is the root cause of these issues that happen. We are not saying that we should not spiritualize things. Of course, we have to spiritualize something. But when it comes to marriage, we need to have honest communication, honest discussion. Apart from us praying together, apart from us studying together, there should be this honest discussion, for us to communicate and understand what is really
the issue.
The issue and what is causing all this. So it's not everything that is Satan, is not everything that is the devil, is not everything. Something is just communication, something is just misunderstanding, something is just assumption. And when we don't understand those things and we just say everything is just spiritual, it can make the marriage fail in silence.
It's very important that that every issues of life should be actually approached from different perspectives. You need to approach it spiritually, you need to approach it physically, and you need to approach it mentally, including relationship, including marriage. But if you are addressing it based on the spiritual alone, you may likely be doing the wrong thing. Okay, so for example, now somebody's character is bad, but we are spiritualizing everything, thinking it's one demon that is causing it. There won't be any correction.
Yeah, maybe somebody has an anger issue.
You understand? There won't be any correction
because
because
discussing misunderstanding between you. I have not faced this bad attitude that you really have. You've not corrected this bad attitude.
Exactly. So not all issues, must be addressed that way. So that's the goal of church.
I think another thing that we need to discuss is loneliness due to church activities.
Exactly. Well, this is it's very funny, right?
It's very funny, but it's real. It's real. Sincerely, it's real. Because most. Let me start with pastors' wives. They face a lot of things because they will be the first person to get to church, and they will be the last person to leave church. Yeah. And you see, when you get to church in the morning on Sunday morning, maybe 6:30, till 4:30. You don't even have time. You've gone to work, or you've gone to your place of work for Monday
to Friday.
Saturday, evangelism, this and that. So Sunday that you should have some time together, you are also in the church from morning to night. Exactly. So there is somebody is feeling lonely there. There is no really connection. There is no time to discuss, time to talk together. And I let me share my own experience. Because this loneliness is church activity too. I'm a victim.
Are you a victim or?
I was. I was a victim, but let me just explain it. When we first got married in our early days, my husband would go to church very early. Then I will go to office Monday to I think Saturday. I go on Saturday, sometimes Sunday same. So that's Sunday that maybe I'm at home or we just go to church. I will expect that my husband will just go to church and come back. He will leave me at home, go very early in the morning. When he get to church after service, I will also leave. When I see him going from one meeting to another, so I will have to leave him behind, and come home. But then I will be feeling there was no child, so there was only peace. I will be feeling so lonely in the house. And one day I was just angry in my spirit. I was like, what kind of thing is this? Why won't he come? I will call him. Hello, he said, we are coming. We still round up this meeting, and maybe we'll come back around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. It's early morning. So one day I was really not happy with myself. I was not even happy with him, so I have to even take it up and we have to say, do you say I do not serve God? I'm serving God now. But you asked me not to serve God. I said, no, I wasn't asking not to serve God. So that thing really touched me, and I have to go and pray about it. And when I pray about it, the Holy Spirit opened my eyes to say, see, the husband is serving God, so you also need to serve God. So what I do, I have to look for some other department to work in. So when he was also attending some of his meetings, I'm also attending my meetings. Exactly. So at that time, nobody is lonely because we are both busy. You don't understand? We are both busy. He is doing his own, he's doing his work for his father. I'm also doing my work for his father. So sometimes you even be the one waiting for me and say, oh yeah, I'm waiting now, let's go. Why? Because I find something to do. So I get the part of loneliness that sometimes we don't really have time together and all that. But at the same time, we need to work things out. We should not be too
it should not be too much
of church activities while you don't have time for your spouse, especially when you are still just two of you. You need to create time.
When you
are just building the foundation, you need to create time. And when they are children too, sometimes the children even want to feel their father, they want to feel their mother. So we should not be too crowded with church activities and we neglect our family. And that alone is really breaking Christian home in silence.
Exactly. It's very important that we actually try to find a balance, to everything. There must be a balance to everything. Now, I think this Pastor Nick Adeyemi, once said something close to what you said. That time the pastor will be busy, do so many things. She used to feel, lonely and all
is real. You feel lonely, like
always peaceful with her, and those people gave her assignment. Then she started the ministry to this slum, all this brothel, prostitutes. She would go there and preach to them, and she now discovered that, wow, this is lively.
She's busy. She's
but of course, not every Christian are actually into such ministry. And many are actually finding it. They are lonely so it's very important that we strike a balance to this. When you want to live in the morning, it's good that the two of you belong to the same church.
Yeah,
We need to start from
yes,
that.
we need to even start from
But
that.
because we don't belong to the same church, this one you see in the church,
Yeah,
we are going to feel lonely.
Even that being in the same church is another thing that we even need to discuss. Because someone sent a question to us and said, after marriage, my wife refused to leave her church. So in that kind of way, what will you do when your wife refused to leave her church and say, see, I'm serving God in this my church, you are serving God, let's just be going to different church. I believe that as a family, we need to hear from the same place. We need to, listen to the same word. Sometimes when we go to church together, we listen to sermon, we come home and come and discuss. What do you think about this sermon? What do you think? But if you are hearing from, there will be conflicts.
It's just important that the period of courtship, you find it so interesting to iron out issues like this. Where do we want to be fellowship? You need to discuss it during the courtship, before the marriage, because it's very important. What the pastor is feeding you elsewhere may not be what the person is feeding you here. So you need to, when you don't have the same orientation concerning your Christians, we have so many Christians, but sometimes we have different doctrines. And your doctrine, sometimes somebody may not like that doctrine. So it's going to bring conflict. So you need to agree. Can two work together except they agree? You need to agree firstly during the period of courtship, before the marriage.
So another one is
right. You're married.
So another one is faulty foundation.
Exactly.
Faulty foundation.
If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? So when you don't when you start from a faulty foundation, you are already building on error. So that crack or disintegration is eminent. It's very, very eminent. It's something that one may need to even expect. Why? Because sometimes you see sisters that she loves the brother. The brother, maybe the brother is rich or something, but this brother have attitude issues. Maybe the brother is even smoking or is a drunk. She just felt, why am I a Christian? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm going to pray and it will change. That's the only area where it's weak, and I'm strong in that place. You understand me? So I will pray until no. That's faulty foundation. That's faulty foundation.
Then I think another thing is that because we are really discussing about Christian marriage, so you may have seen a brother or a sister in church, and you don't really know the character of the sister. Maybe you just see that this sister, she's fervent in church activities,
or she speaks in tongues.
She speaks in tongues. She can sing. The brother is in protocol, or the brother is in ushering department, or the brother is part of the media, but he's not really saved. We cannot say because somebody is fervent in church activities, we cannot say the same time that the person is genuinely saved.
Exactly.
So because of that, because you see that this brother is fervent and you just feel that, oh, this brother will be born again, I find that this brother has a lot of bad attitude, bad character that you cannot even cope with, but you think that, oh, he's a Christian, I'm a Christian. Exactly. Or maybe the pastor has even said, oh, this brother, maybe it was even the pastor that introduced or introduced you to the brother or introduced you to the sister. That's the faulty foundation.
Exactly. So when you see red flags and you intentionally decide to neglect them, you are actually building on a wrong, faulty foundation, and disaster is just imminent. So it's very important when you notice things like that, you don't go ahead until you fix them. Somebody that is traveling on a long journey, have a punctured tire or flat tire or thereabout, and what will you do when you have flat tire? You park, right? Get somebody to attend to it, or the spare tire at the back, you fix it back, till you'll be able. Why? Because you want your journey to be smooth. But whenever you decide to continue without terrible tire, of course, you won't. It's either you don't get to where you're going to, or something happened along the line that you may not even need to tell the story. So it's very important that we fix those things before we go ahead.
There is some Christian brothers and sisters, they are not romantic. That can really cause, that can also make Christian marriage will fail inside. You are not romantic. Your wife will play come back home. You not even say, oh, you look beautiful.
So
you know, you not comment. Your wife, where she put on a fine clothes, you cannot say, oh, sister Oni. In fact, some of them to even say Oni, they will say sister. To even say, mom, you are no. So you need to be that somebody is romantic. That somebody is romantic does not mean the person is not born again or is not spiritual.
Exactly.
So we need to also be romantic as husband, as wife.
Exactly.
We need to be romantic. We need to
you need to study the person's
love language. Yeah, exactly. You cannot say I love you. You cannot say, oh, you look beautiful. You cannot say, oh, I can plait your hair. You need to be romantic.
Exactly.
That sometimes the wife can just feel like.
See, it's very important that you make your marriage young. Be intentional in ensuring that marriage remains young. How will it happen? What you used to do during the courtship, all those affection, all those calling her, you need to keep it on in the marriage. If you don't do that, it gets to a time that the sister will be bored, or the brother will become bored, and if care is not taken, that marriage is already crumbling. So it's important that consciously you just make things happen. If you see your wife, say it. Some men will say that she already know now.
Yeah, she already know.
At least I give her money.
You already know that I love her. You already know that I'm this. You already know that I'm that. So you need to say it. You need to be romantic.
Exactly.
Another one we need to discuss today is avoidance of counseling or therapy.
Yes, many of many Christians, they just believe somehow that God is their mentor.
They see counseling as lack of faith.
You understand me? Or as if I'm exposing my family. Which can be true.
Yeah.
But when you see that your family is having problem, that the car you are driving is already having problem, you need a mechanic. You don't need to deceive yourself when you are driving the car and it's giving you some crappy sounds, and you try to find out where the sound is coming from. You couldn't. You need the mechanic to save that car and to save yourself. So getting a counselor or for maybe somebody that can counsel you or a kind of therapy is not out of place
at all.
There's nothing wrong about it if to save your home at that period of time. Just like somebody, he went to this who was to be a millionaire, Frank, and this man has 3 lifelines. The wife was seated there, the children seated, expecting the man to perform, and so this man asked him the first question. He didn't get the question right. He asked him like 3 times. So he was just thinking, that now reminded him that you actually have 3 lifelines. You can use call a friend, speak to the audience, maybe 50-50. But choose one of them. The man said, actually,
it's too early.
It is too early.
It's too
early to use the lifeline. He now chose an answer. That one answer, sir, are you sure of this answer, or don't you think maybe we should just use 50-50 at least to be sure? He tried every means to convince him to just try one of these 3 lifelines that he has. He said, no, it is too early to be using lifeline now, things like that. At the end of the day, he got 0. In fact, it was the first person that will be watching, that got 0, or for that who wants to be a millionaire. Now, the 3 lifelines that he has wasted. The family, I don't know how they will actually walk out of that place, and everybody is actually watching all over Nigeria. What I'm trying to say is that don't say because you are spirit, or maybe you are a leader in the church or something, and you see that your marriage is cracking. Something is happening in your marriage that you couldn't control. Get help. It's very important. It's not everything that you just pray. Get help. It could just be a single, in the multitude of cancer. A little cancer can just save that marriage. So it's very important that we don't try to avoid cancer. Just because we have spiritual people. No. That is not to say that you need to expose yourself unnecessarily. My family now, we have never at any time, went for anything like that. But we are able to manage ourselves. So if you are able to manage yourself, fine. But if you think there's a problem in the family. Your wife is not understanding you anymore. Your husband is not understanding you anymore, and is already getting to 1 week, 2 weeks. Please seek counsel. There's nothing wrong.
Then how do you
use your lifeline?
Yeah. Then how do you even settle issues? Do you just sweep issues under the rug?
Yes.
Do you just just silent issue? Just say no, we don't need to. Let's just pray. Go with no. How do you discuss issues? When we complain about something, or maybe you are not doing something well, or something is about, how do we settle it? Do we just sweep it under the rug silently and just move on? Yeah. So all those things too leads to building up, bottling things up, and later it now become and you're not seeking counsel. So though we also understand sometimes that you need to be wise in seeking counsel, because it's not everything that you just take to a third party and just say some will just some will just like just make it big, just blow it up. So you need to also know who you are seeking counsel for. So you need to prayerfully seek counsel even when you want to seek counsel.
So when issue happens in family, there are some issues that you need to discuss. Maybe as a wife and you think you're a godly sister, maybe you don't want to talk, or maybe the first time you talk, it shuts you down. You just shouted on you or something, and you don't want wahala, you don't want problems. So any other one that comes, you just remain silent. Number one is a danger thing for the brother himself. See, seriously, there are some brothers, if I won't tell you lies, there are some brothers that are like that. They just felt they are the head of the family, and because they are the head, their voice alone must be heard in that family. So the wife doesn't really have any opinion. So once they give an instruction, it must be followed. It is not true. It is not true. You need to agree to many things.
Not only is it not true, it is not right.
It is not right. It's not right. Does that mean that you don't have a right to make a decision? No. What we're saying is that you don't lord yourself over your wife. When you get to a time you are saying that, don't you know I'm your husband? No, you are failing already. So you need to, it's a relationship. It's a kind of synergy to become one. So if you become one, definitely your decision, you need to be one. Decision making.
I also want to talk about silent pride. Some people, what is really causing issues their own is pride. They will think like, who are you? Me that maybe I'm a pastor, that people are even carrying my bag. You will not be talking to me anyhow. So two things in two ways. We need to know as a wife, the Bible says we should honor our husband, and that honor has to do with respect. Recently the Lord is really helping me to understand that men are wired in a way that you must respect them. I have 3 boys rather, and I found out that my 3 boys, what used to cause misunderstanding or fight among them is respect. When one is saying he's talking to me and I do not respect him, he don't respect me, I'm his elder brother, and the other one is saying that respect is you respect me, then I will respect him. Then I wonder, when they start giving me those those narratives, I tend to now understand that the way men are wired, no matter how small they are, either a boy, a middle-aged man, or a married man, is respect. They love to be respected. Exactly. So because of that, we as the wife, that's why God already know that. He's the one that created the man, so he already know that. One of the things that you can get to the heart of this man is by honoring him, and to honor him you need to respect him. Exactly. Do you understand? So sometimes when you talk, you may think that you are saying it the right way, but it may say like, oh, why will she be talking to me like that? Be that it may not even be the tone anyway. Sometimes it can even be pride. Because to me, when you are married, you should know that this person is my half. It's my second half. If you don't like the way she talks to you, you can speak to you that, no, I don't like the way you talk to me. Then also, I don't encourage us to talk to our husband anyhow. We need to understand the time to communicate, where to communicate, and when to communicate. We need to understand that. So sometimes when you not communicate, like, who is this person? Is it because I even married you? My sisters are begging me to marry them. So that sisters, you'll not be talking to me anyhow. So the pride will not make us to really iron out what the issue is. We are like me that, see, when I get to church, people will pastor, our pastor, or something, brother, or this person, a different position in churches, and you're like, why with this sister, this small sister?
Disrespect me. Why others are respecting me? Including married women.
Including married women. Hold men down. You pray and be like this issue. So how we say that for men, I know that the Bible says you should love your wife, so you need to understand.
Yes, it's very important that you understand your wife,
Yeah.
and it's important that you don't become like how do they call it now? Uh, like somebody authority. You just want to be an authoritarian
Yeah,
in your own
anything you
house.
say must go.
You know, it's not the best. That's not the best
Who
marriage.
are you to advise me?
That wife can later be seen herself as a slave. And when the woman starts seeing herself as a slave in a marriage, it's not the best.
It's not
You may be on the altar and be saying that your marriage is fine. It's the that wife that is suffering. That one is not telling you.
Yeah, and that can lead
you need to actually, build a home where your wife is free to talk to you, free to tell you the truth. Because people outside there will not tell you the truth. The wife is the one that will be able to tell you the truth.
So that can also lead to silence as a coping mechanism. Because when you keep saying it and you keep shutting her down, then you stop talking. And she'll start keeping it to herself, start bottling things. She's happy, she's hot, she's feeling so down, feeling betrayed, feeling hurt, emotional trauma, everything. She's in the marriage, but she's not there.
She's not there.
She's not there. Her heart is just somewhere else.
But she's confused. She doesn't know what to do. She's trying not to expose you, not to disgrace you.
She's trying to avoid conflict in the marriage. Avoid to say, oh, you are talking to me anyhow.
And anytime she tells somebody you are going to blame her, why will you be reporting my matter?
Why will you take our matter to a third person?
So it's very important that men, I think this one addresses men.
Mostly, yes.
Ensure that you don't get a situation whereby your wife cannot talk to you anymore. When you get to that level, you might be standing on a gunpowder. So it's very important that ensure that your wife loves the marriage. Make sure she loves, herself being in that marriage. She loves it. Don't let her be in a marriage and her mind is not there. Anything can happen. We've had stories of maybe it's not a common thing. Maybe a landlord that later took a pastor's job, but that will not start in one day.
We've heard a story of pastor and wife fighting physical.
So this is not that we're actually addressing pastor anymore. We're just talking about Christian homes. Where the brother just felt, he's the only one that can think, he's the only one that can talk, and the sister is becoming silent in order to keep the home, in order to make everything. That's what we're talking about. That don't let it get to that level, because when you get to that level, even you yourself, you will know that you don't have really have peace.
And keeping malice too. You don't want to talk, you just keep malice. For 1 week, you are not talking in the home. How do you now find time to pray together? How do you even pray and God will hear you? So we should also take that as.
I think one of the things that can help us in our marriages, one key that can help us is in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. Talking about the fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah.
If you can actually look at the fruit of the Spirit, write
and
them
you
down,
have them.
and incorporate them into your marriage. I'm telling you,
in your life, personal.
In your life and marriage, you discover that the issues in marriage will be minimized.
Yeah. So the last one we'll be discussing today is public image.
Yeah.
Public image.
Most of the time.
Ministry of public image, where your people place so much, value that people expect us to be more than what we should be. They don't see us that we even have this flair. They say, Christian marriage, they are looking at us as like a role model. And because of that, some things that we need to say, we can't say it out. Sometimes that we feel like, let's be like, what will I say? If I go and report this, my husband, to the pastor now, when the pastor feel like this brother in church, if I report this my wife now, I talked about this my wife, when they say this sister that she's the teenager teacher, she's doing this. So we look at what people will say, the public image, what will social media say, what will people say about us. If we are not saying we should expose ourselves, but we are just saying that we should not.
Yeah, what we're saying basically is, but for example now, a father that the daughter may just became pregnant, and the father seems to be a respected somebody in church, and he felt, you disgraced my family, you've done this, I don't want to see you anymore, and you want to disown the daughter. Now, the daughter has done something terrible. Now you want to add, to that evil, by sending that totally to the jaw of lions. So why? Because of public image. So see, when you have public image, you must be able to protect it. How do you protect it? Work on your children. I would say train your child in the way you should go. But if at the end of the day your child now come up with an attitude that you think is not what you have trained the person, you still need to take responsibility.
Yeah,
does that mean you are not going to discipline the child? No, you discipline the child. But you take responsibility that if I have actually opened my eyes enough, I will say watch and pray. This my daughter shouldn't get to this level. Because we've seen children of pastors that are actually doing well. That the children, when you see them, praying, do something, it motivates other Christians that I love this family. So if your own is not such, but your own is now bringing unwanted pregnancy, you can discipline her, but don't dishonor because you want to protect image. At the end of the day, you protect the image, you damage the future of your children. No. Don't because of image protection. Image that will not even be there because people will even know.
Yeah.
They will not see it that they will know. So if the image is even already exposed, so you want to protect image, but you don't want to save your family. You don't want to save your home. No. Let your home be a priority. So whatever your home is now bringing forth that is not good, just know that somehow you contributed to it. So sit down together and see how you can fine tune things, how you can actually invite Jesus again to help you. Jesus can repair anything, no matter how terrible. A man 4 days in the grave, Lazarus came back alive. I believe the guy was already stinking. So if Jesus can do that, he can restore your marriage. So don't because of your public image that you want to look good to people. But you are silencing your wife. You don't want her to say some things. You don't want her to talk to a counselor. Because you don't want her to expose you. And you are every day you maltreat her. Every day you abuse her. But she must not talk to somebody because you have image. No, you don't have image. As soon as you start beating your wife, your image is already cracking. So see, you need to be truthful to yourself. When you marry somebody's daughter, and the daughter was happy in her family, and she's come to your family, even change her surname, she should also be happy in your family.
She'll be happy with you.
But if she's not happy with you again, and not because of what she's doing, but because of the fact that you have refused to make her happy, you are now gaslighting her, now putting and you are telling her, don't talk to anybody, don't reply. No. That will not be good enough. So it's very important that we ensure that from the period of courtship, we ensure that relationship, that courtship continue. That's why I say, can two work together? You need to be two. You need to be one. So two become one, right? You need to be one. Since the day you got married, you must be one in everything. Very important.
Okay, so I will be speaking to the ladies now. Is when you get married to, no matter who the person is, a born again child of God, a worker in the church, a pastor, you need to maintain your dress sense. Don't say because you're married, you now relax and say my husband is born again. My husband is a pastor. I was listening to Pastor Salome, and was saying that they are beautiful ladies, that when you see some of them, the way they dress, you'll be tempted to fall. The only thing that will not make you to fall is because you are looking at the cross. Because you are looking at the cross. So these men, that's why they call them men of God. They are men before they now have God. So they have blood flowing there. So please don't say, you change, you now start tying wrappers, start dressing anyhow. What's your husband saw that make her even now you are not looking attractive to the man again. See, you are really causing a lot of issues, and in your mind you are thinking that he's going nowhere because he's a born again. So you can't this one you cannot go anywhere. He's a born again. Where is he going to? And because of that, you denying of a lot of things. You don't cook good food. Even the other food too, you don't give it. You don't dress well, and the very most important thing, you don't respect him. I said it the other time, honor is very, very important.
It's very important.
The only way, in fact, I say the best way to get the heart of man, out of your husband, is to honor him. And the Lord already know that. That's why he says, see, wife, honor your husband. And God also knows that the only way the husband can get to the heart of the wife is to love.
Yes.
And the thing is that when you respect your husband, when you honor him, make it easier for him to love you. And when you love your wife, it makes it easier for her to honor you. So the two works hand in hand. So because of that, I want to tell us that please, let's try to make sure we dress well. We don't push our husband out just because by saying that, oh, he's a Christian, he's a man of God, he's a worker in the church, he's the head of the department, he's a deacon, he's an elder, he cannot go anywhere. No, please, let's be intentional about our husband. But let's hold him jealously, hold him be intentional. Be intentional about our own, about our husband, the way we treat them, the way we talk to them, the way we do things. Don't let's push them out. And Lord will help us. And let's always find time also to always pray together. Let's find time to always talk. Let's create time. Don't let church activity be what will block us. Let's create time to talk together. Let's create time to communicate. Find time to also pray together, to discuss. When you're angry about something, please find time to say, that this what happened. Say, and also for the men, for the husband, let's be romantic. Let's tell our wife that you are beautiful. Let's go to extra mile to even give them money to go and place nice hair. You can even buy bag. Let's gift them. Just surprise. No, it's not until it's her birthday. You can surprise me by us a gift. She will be happy. So let's spice up our marriage. Because we are Christian does not mean we cannot spice our marriage. Because we are Christian does not mean our marriage cannot be full of fun. So please, let's spice up our marriage in God's way. And we can do it because we as a Christian, our home should be a role model. Don't let the worldly marriage be the one that will now be ministering to us. Let our own minister to people. Let them come and say, oh, I like your union. And the Lord will help us in the name of Jesus.
All right. So, I don't want to be repeating everything she has said, but it's very important that as a man, if your wife is, if her dress sense is not okay anymore, it doesn't mean that you should shut up your mouth and be looking for girls outside. You can communicate. I've seen women that at the time their stature just changed, and the husband did not say anything, but he was not really happy, he was not really comfortable. So if your wife is someone that is a bit slim, by the time you get married, and that is the stature you like most, and now she's already getting spread, maybe the blessing of God is coming and she's taking territory, please, you can communicate. I think we should be going for gym, I think we should be doing this, so that one will not just become fat, you can say it jokingly to help her, because it gets to a stage that she will not be able to, it will not be easy to come to that shape anymore, So what I'm trying to say is that communicate. You love something, you want to say something in her, communicate it to her. Don't just at every time believe that she should be able to know. Communicate. If she's not dressing well anymore, my wife knows. Maybe she wants to go out, she put on something. That thing is all okay. Can you do this? Communicate it.
Sometimes I have to change clothes 3 times.
She's your wife.
Before going out.
It's important. It's important. So let your wife be a representation of your family
of who you are.
Anywhere. So if my wife is going out and I think this blessing is not really representing my family, I can call her. Don't you think you need to change this dress? Change it. Don't wear this one. This one is okay. And you tell her the reason why you think she should change it. Don't just say go and change that dress. No. She's not she's not a maid. She's not your maid. So talk to her with respect. I think you could change this dress. I don't think it's really okay. This is the reason, and she will change it. About that time, it's already okay. So that whatever anybody is going to see outside and complain about, you be the first to see it here, and you address it before she gets there. So it's very important that whatever you are not seeing in your wife, that you love, communicate it so that she can start doing it.
Okay, thank you. That will be the end of today's episode. why Christian marriage fails in silence. We pray that the Lord will be with us and the Lord will hold our home. Please do well to subscribe, like, follow, share the video, and comment too.
We need some comments.
Yeah, you need to comment. And if you want to send us questions, we'll be receiving a lot of questions these days. If you want to send anyone to us, maybe you have something bothering you, you want to speak to us, please do well to send us an email on the olugbengas@gmail.com. If you are single and you are thinking, am I really in a godly relationship? Am I sure I'm in a godly relationship? We got an answer for you. Go to our bio on Instagram and fill out the godly relationship scorecard. When you fill that, we know if you are really in a godly relationship or not. So bye. You can also book a counseling section with the Olugbengas. It's a free counseling session for 30 minutes. We can speak with you. You know, if you have anything but you need someone trusted to speak to, please do well to book a free counseling session with the Olugbengas. Thank you. See you next month. Bye.